Hi everyone, my name is Amy. Welcome to my channel, and I am here with part 2 of my Junk Journal Supply Vacation Edition haul. So, was I smart enough to get up after my last video to take all the things away that I already showed you so I'd have space and know what was left? No, I wasn't that smart, but we're just gonna get started anyway. So next I got this little kit, probably a golfing thing. I don't know, it's Southern Railway System, so it's an advertising thing. It was $3. I got 2 of them. But let's see, I really got it for this. So it's just little papers that you would be able to write on the back of. So, geez, there's not very many in here. How many did I get for $3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, that was 50 cents a piece. Jeez. Welp, I'm a sucker. So yeah, I got 2 of those. And then, since we like cards so much, I found this Betsy Clark card set, Hallmark card set. I still have yet to figure out, I did a search, I was trying to figure out if she illustrated it all for Precious Moments. And I don't think she did, but her stuff sure looks like Precious Moments, but maybe you know when she did and you can tell me in the comments. But I got this cute set for $20. That's like the most I shouldn't spend any more than 12 for 2 decks of cards, but 20, because I love these so much. And then I don't have nostalgic TV trivia, and I'm not gonna do this one because, well, I don't think I know movies well enough at all. At least sometimes I can get some of the TV ones, but I found another movie game one. And then I found a German game, Österreich, and it was $5. And we think it is a trivia type game as well, but I like it because some of the cards, I don't know if these are the geography cards, had pictures. It's kind of a little bit glossy, and then it's just got trivia on the others, and they had never been opened, but I don't know. I mean, the box seems old. Oh, 2005, so it's just vintage. And okay, well, someone paid €1 for it, but we got it for $5. Well, because of course we had to pay to get it across the pond. Whoever brought it across the pond. All right, and it's got a kind of a neat little case with it. All right, then I found a pile of napkins. The price is not on here anymore. I don't know if these were, I haven't really looked at these, to be honest. I mainly got them, this bag, because of these little things. So these are just probably like doilies. Let's open one. Where are my scissors? Yeah, I figure they're, or drink, you know, something you put your drink on. Coasters, that's what those are called. But I've assumed, oh, they're thicker than I thought. They're actually kind of the same thickness as these. So, and there's several here. So that's really why I got this bag. I thought those would be neat in journals. But we've got this kind of a napkin, one of these. Now these aren't too bad. Kind of a gray and white. And then that. So I could easily cut out like the poinsettia and some of the different flowers. There's a bunch of those. And then some that look like this. I really like that. And that'll look super on some book page. Are these all the same? Oh, so there were a few of those. And then we've got some Thanksgiving, more Thanksgiving, and then more. So all of this plus these two things. I think they charged me like $5 for this. It wasn't priced, and they had to call the person, and the person had like a bag of napkins that had maybe like this many in it for $2. So I felt like $5 was not terrible. But again, it's napkins, so I guess you might think that's a bad price. Hi, let me take a brief moment out of our video to let you know that today's video is sponsored by Junk for Goats. Junk for Goats is my business where I sell and resell vintage, antique, and some modern ephemera for all of your junk journaling or crafting needs. I have shops on Etsy, Whatnot, and I list my digital items on my coffee shop. All of the links for those are below in the description, so please check that out. It's also important to note that 10% of all the proceeds from my sales are used to purchase goats from Compassion International. Those goats are provided to families across the world to help them meet their own families' needs in terms of their diet, but they can also take and sell the milk and the cheese that they produce from their goats to their friends and family nearby, helping to provide them with a income source that is valuable in the areas in which they live. So if you would like to craft with a difference, please check out the description below. And as always, thank you, and please enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks. All right, then. Oh, well, these, they just had some St. Louis earrings for $1. So I thought that was cute. I should wear those now, shouldn't I? All right, and then I found some, I love this envelope, and I know that these have like the photo corners that you can put, plus there's this kind. So how do I open this? Because I kind of want to see. Some of these people are able to like reseal. Okay, Amy, just cut it open. I don't want to cut the product though, is my problem. Well, let's try to see if I can get in. So, I don't know if people buy they probably do, because if you wanted to put some antique postcards in a journal, maybe you'd want some antique photo corners. Okay, so here is this. I always expect everything should have a date on it. They were patented in 2019, but there are, oh, that's unfortunate. I'm gonna have to use some boo-boo tape because I really do like this envelope, but it is torn. And then, okay, so just your basic black photo corner and that, but then these other packages are also, I think, photo corners. Oh, these are stamp mounts. Ugh. Pre-folded hinges. Well, that's no bueno. I don't need those. I'm like spending all my time taking stamps off of those. But perhaps a stamp collector would like those, so I should resell them to those people. So this would have been way cooler to me if they hadn't all been alcohol bottle tops. Like if they'd been soda ones instead, but that would have cost way more. These, I think, yeah, it says 500 plus bottle caps for $5.50. So what I want to do is I have a circle punch and I want to punch some stuff out that I can put in this and then put glossy accents over it to kind of create the same look as when people do the jump rings and do that. But I'm also curious if I can kind of pinch these sides in so that it's shorter. So I'm gonna have to get some pliers and experiment with that, but that is why I bought these. Now, will I just leave the beer on the other side? Probably, because anybody that will want to use this, I'm assuming will either affix it back here, or if it's made into a charm, well, then I guess that would still show, but I don't know if people would care. But yeah, they're all beer. I would have much rather had soda ones. But with the beer ones, I guess you do get quite a bit variety. Just goes to show how much more beer is drank in the world than soda. But that felt like a good deal. All right, then I finally found, so at one place I found you could get 9 milk caps for $12, which no, I don't want to pay that. This may not have been much better because that would have been more than $1 a piece, but these only ended up being 50 cents a piece. So I got $10 worth. But these, they're not milk ones. They are lemon drink and orange drink. So let me see if I can kind of move these. So I think there's 2 lemon and 2 orange in each one. So maybe that's why they were cheaper, because they weren't milk. But I did buy the milk cap set off of Temu, and they seem really nice. And to make them seem more authentic, I should staple them, because all of these have a staple in them, because that's just the way that they worked. So got all of those. Then I also got the same one that had all of the all the Czech cereal and stuff. They had this one for $14.50. So this is, where did it go? This is like the original of that one that I got the replicas of. Let me see if I can, if it's not too hidden. Oh, I think it is. I meant to put that in a place I could still get to it so we could compare. But it doesn't seem like I was that kind to myself. Get some of this stuff out of there. Okay, well now it's just all sliding everywhere. Where did it go? Oh, it's way over there. Shoot, I can't reach that, you guys, dang it. Oh, well, whatever. So anyway, this is the original from 1972, I believe, the original back. And I can't remember if I opened it in the car or if it was already open, but some of you may remember these better. So they're in really good shape. So I can't, but like I said, I can't remember if I opened them or if they were already open. All right, and then I got, these are like little tickets. So there's 2 of these, and they're just little ticket books. So they perforate here, and they're just little tickets. So I'm always wanting little things like this. So yeah, so I picked these up. I don't know what the price was on this. This was one that they had it taken off, but I was excited to find that. Oh, okay, sorry, I'm making a mess. Already did this. Okay. Found another bingo game. So this card right here, that's the pink and the orange, this is my favorite bingo card, and I have a set of those, but I want more because they're kind of rare. So I thought that's what I was getting with this, but after I got to the car and opened it, it had the white version. Now it's got the same font, and on closer inspection, it does have the red ones back here. So I don't know why it didn't have any of the bright pink ones, but it did have those. So these are from 1981. So I didn't have these either. So this is new, which I guess is good. But yeah, I've been looking, like, I don't know how I found one of those in the wild to begin with, but it was apparently not a popular set. All right. Then I got this bird book, since birds is one of my favorite things. This is Birds of Western North America, and $22. Oh, okay, I'll show you that in a minute. But it's got full page plates of the birds, and luckily, just like the flower one I just showed you, it's blank on the back. And so I could, when I sell these, I can sell the page that says what it is, like on the back of this image. So I like that. A lot of times the information for the picture over here, and then they never stay together. So I really liked that. This was $22 if I didn't tell you. And 1974. And it looks like this is also a first edition. But I don't know. I don't know if people I guess I could do a search to see if people are selling just the book by itself on Etsy. Well, I'm sure somebody's selling it on Etsy or eBay. But how successful it is, I don't know. All right, then I found one of these, which I love this book. Now, I think that I have this book already at home, but mine is blue here, so maybe the one I already have is World War I and this is World War II, or maybe I've got a different theater for the one I've got at home. I honestly don't recall, but it is this West Point Atlas of War, and I just absolutely love the maps in this. I like that they are plain. They pretty much just have like red to outline things, but otherwise, and I don't care about the writing in this particular case. I just want the maps. So luckily with this, I don't have to pick and choose which maps I get. So they're just real, and it's nice paper. Now, I don't know how old this book is. And I paid $12.45. The other one I got at Half Price Books, so probably for a similar price, if I had to guess. $19.95, so vintage, yes. But yeah, when I saw it, this was in of course, a booth specializing in war. So I was really happy to find that. And then I got this flag game, 20 bucks. And I don't know if I'd ever seen this. It's not like a Parker Brothers. Oh, it is Parker Brothers down there in the corner. So 1961. So there's probably things in here that are no longer countries. But you guys know I'm looking for game boards to cut up. So this is kind of a bigger than normal one. And then it's also got, okay, we've got saran wrap on this. It's also got like over 100 cards that are just flags. Now maybe there's some other kind of cards in here too, but yeah, they seem like they're just flags. So these I feel like will be great in journals. And from 1961, that's a good age. I mean, that's over 50 years old. Can you believe it? That's almost what? 65 years old almost. So that seemed like a good deal. I found another person selling some old vintage Clue games, 25 bucks. And I said, no, thank you. Those, I guess I will have to just restrict myself to thrift stores. All right. This, they were nice to wrap it up. This is probably also overpaid, but these are voided Coca-Cola checks, petty cash checks from the 70s. You see here, it's got 1907. And so I just bought, they were $1 a piece, you guys. So I bought 10. They're all the same, they're all voided. So, I don't know. I thought that was neat because it was Coca-Cola. Although, probably wouldn't have mattered. I just love voided checks that are old. In one of the auctions I won, I got a bunch of voided checks, but they were like from 5 years ago. Those are not the kind that people want to see. Then I found a set of 6 of these books for $1 each. So I got them to really just to cut pictures out. They're nice matte pictures. They have different, each book is a different theme, but some neat ones. So this was The World and Its Wonders, Guideposts for Growing Up. Now this one I kind of wish I hadn't bought because this one's more like just instructions for parents, like how to make bedtime more pleasant. And so there's very few pictures in here. It's more of just like, well, parenting instructions. So I probably, if I had taken the time, I wouldn't have bought this, but it was only $1, so there's that, I guess. Words to Know, I think this was my favorite one because it's got the different words, so I could easily cut these strips out. Now I will have to choose which images I like better because they are front and back, but it's the whole alphabet. So I liked that. Children Ask Questions. There are some illustrations in this too, so this one wasn't too bad on the illustration front. Parade of Stories. Oh, I like that. Okay, this might be the one that has a lot of kind of single color pictures. And then the Story Hour. So yeah, so just some good children's book page pictures. All right, then in a different war booth, I found this map of the North Atlantic Ocean, and it was $12. It's an air map. It's huge, so I'm either gonna cut this into pieces and sell, or well, I don't know. It'll show up in either a kit or something. And then if I didn't have enough bird books, then I've got Birds of Town and Village. This was another one that had the picture on one side, but then it also, the page for it is separate, so you can keep the information with it. And I think the first one in this book was $24. Yeah, the first one is The Rook and the Carrier, or the Carrion Crow. So that, of course, got me, since my last name is Crow. So that was, I have a hard time passing that stuff up, which is really unfortunate. Okay, we are on to the last bag, I think. Yep, so let's see what we got. All right, we got this was from the first day. Got a deck of cards. This one was $18. I shouldn't, when I set a limit for a specific thing, I should stick to that limit. I was like, is this really what the cards are gonna look like? Like, that seems a little weird, but sure enough, they do. And it tells you a little bit about Lancelot. He was the valet of clubs, and Hosier was the valet of spades. And yep, they really do look like that. So I thought it was kind of kitschy, so I liked that. You never know if it's gonna be what's on the cover. All right, and then Jason found me some bridge tally card sets. So these are nice. There's one in here that's opened, so I'll show you what it looks like on the inside if you've never seen one. And these were each $1.50. I found some more cards. You guys, $5 for more vintage cards. Why do I don't need any more vintage cards. Okay, I thought this was kind of cool. So this was shipping notices for the American Red Cross. $12. Where's the opening? I know I've opened this already. I think we're having wings for dinner tonight. Tonight was Gregory's choice to pick. We've already had slim chicken on the way down, was Gracie's choice. And then we've had, Jason and I had Crystal today while we were out antiquing. We did Sky Diner last night, which was Galia's choice. And we've already done the Walmart, so we've got food to eat here when we're here. And tonight, oh, I said wings. And then one night, it's gonna be Mama's Kitchen, which is like a family style dining. And then we've got a kind of a breakfasty place picked out for tomorrow. And I don't know what the other meal will be. I can't remember. So that's been it on the food front. But here is a whole pad of these notices, and they're in different colors because they're in like triplicate, but there was no tracing paper with it, which is fine. I don't need this tracing paper. So a whole pad of that. So how are you guys doing? I hope if you're having to work that it's not too terrible. I'm not looking forward to going back to work, but who does? Because it's always such a pain. You've got to like catch up from your vacation, and ugh, it's a pain, so I'm not looking forward to that. All right, this was a 9-piece card set for $3. So some vintagey kind of cards with a different kind of theme. Like I don't really have much for that were geared towards men or sons, so that was kind of what this theme was. So I'm excited that I'm still in the curating phase of getting ready for my Labor Day sale, and some of this stuff is going to end up being for Halloween sale. You know, I'm going to be trying to do my drops on these different holiday kind of shopping kind of weekends, Labor Day being the first. So a lot of this stuff that I'm curating now is going to end up being for some of those sales too. But I am kind of looking forward to getting to the crafting part of the phase and actually using these things. Okay, what is this? This is a little book, a student handbook from 1949 to 1950. And I like the sizes of the paper, the size of the paper, and it's just different. I was thinking there were some pictures. Yeah, there's some pictures in here that you could use for ID cards or whatever. Did I say what that cost? Does it still have the sticker? It was $1. I'm glad I got some things for a decent price, because some things I really overpaid, I'm sure. Then I found a bunch of these film cards. They were all $1.95. I really haven't seen like you see Viewmaster ones every so often, but I really hadn't seen this style. So yeah, so there's just a whole, well, not a whole bunch, but there were just several. And this one had the full envelope, so I could see kind of what the device looked like, which it looks like a Viewmaster. But it must be a little bit different since it's gotta go down instead of around. But I didn't even look to see so Little Red Riding Hood, Yogi Bear, Cinderella, Huckleberry Hound, Bugs Bunny, Lassie and Timmy, and Bambi. So I have to look and see if there's any market to just sell those by themselves. And then I got for $3, a little, why did I buy this? I bought this because of this paper. That's how crazy I am. This vintage paper. Oh, I need help. Another set of cards for $3. I have a hard time passing up bundles. Like if they were all just by themselves, I can pass that up pretty easily, but bundles, not so much. Okay, here's the other one of those Stockyard ledger books. So in one of the antique stores, I found this awesome ledger, no price, and they refused to sell anything with no price. They refused to call anybody. So we're gonna go back there on our way out of town just to see if it landed back into its booth with a price, but who knows. All right, now this was a cool set. So this was a bag. It was in a war booth, and it was vintage playing cards for $5. And it's several different sets. So the set I could see was this one, and I have another antique set that the numbers are way over here like this. So now I've got something to pair that with to sell. So, and I was happy because it doesn't have all the cards, but it had the ace, which will go into my collection. But then it also had, okay, well, it had one of these, but then it had, you guys, look at these. These are fantastic. So I looked this up and there was some disagreement about whether these were German or French. And there was a German game that it acted like these were for. And okay, and then there was one of these. And the German game also could have it in this form. So I really don't know, except that they are old. So this was super exciting to me to find. And I didn't really, because they are small, kind of small, well, not this one, but these other ones were smaller than this and they were all intermingled, so I didn't realize I was getting them. So that was a happy find. Okay, this was the other tally book that I did go ahead and open because I didn't have to cut it. But this one was 3 because it's prettier, or I'm assuming that's why it was more. So it's just a little, you know, they would use these to play bridge and keep score. So this would just be a cute little thing to go into a journal. And I don't know if people still play bridge, so maybe they still make these, but these were printed in Switzerland. But I know I have a lot of Hallmark ones like this, so I don't know. I don't know if they still make these or not. All right, now this next one I talked about before. This was the coupon books, like those French ones that I showed. And they're just, but you couldn't redeem, like, I think whoever you redeemed these with had to be the one to tear it out, because it was like, if these are torn out, they're void. So, but this is for the Island Creek Stores Company, and it's almost like coupons are non-transferable and are void if detached. Coupons are redeemable in merchandise. Unused coupons will be redeemed in cash if not used within 30 days from issue. So I get the feeling, but how did I get that feeling? Okay, in the back here, it says, I hereby assign $5 of my wages earned and to be earned under my employment with the Island Creek Stores to blank. So it was like they would exchange some of their pay for this, which it acted like these were redeemable dollar for dollar. So I don't know why you would do that. Like, I would only, like, there's 1 cent ones, there's 5 cents, 10 cents, because this was a $5 book. And then I also got 2 $10 books, and one of these looked like it had a couple missing. Okay, well, I don't know where now, but yeah, I don't know why you would do that, except that I guess they'd get converted back to cash if you didn't use them. But like, where's the advance? There must have been some kind of discount related to it. Otherwise, why would you do it? But I paid $12 to get those 3. All right, then I found some vintage flashcards, the Division kind, and these were cool because they're orange. So, and they're matte on both sides. Nowadays, the flashcards are made glossy on one side and matte on the other, and I much prefer for both sides to be matte. All right. Then I struck the mother lode with maps. There was a guy selling sets for $9.50, and there were 20 maps in the set. Now, they weren't necessarily in the greatest condition. But seemed like a good deal. Whether I use it as scrap or if they're in good enough shape, I might try to sell the map as it is. But they're just all different kinds. Road maps, well, road maps. That's not what I meant. Like gasoline station maps, conservation, like state park. I don't know. I don't know who all makes maps, I guess I should say. But they weren't all gas station ones, although I do prefer the gas station ones. So some of them, like rest areas, used to give away maps. So yeah, so I shouldn't need any more maps. So yeah, so that I think is everything, you guys. We are gonna try to stop a few places on our way down here, or over here, down and over. We did write down exits that had antique malls, but we were trying to just get here as fast as possible on Sunday. So we'll probably be stopped. And plus on Sunday, a lot of antique stores close early. We had the time difference, so we lost an hour coming this way. So we'll gain an hour going back, and so that'll just give us a little bit extra time. Plus it'll be a Friday and more of them will be open. Any of the flea markets would be open, kind of thing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to closing out my purchasing phase of my sale. See, some of you probably think I'm ridiculous, like spending all this money just to upcycle it and resell it, but I guess it's a craft, right? Whether you buy something to cross stitch and sell it, it's a craft of a kind. So anyway, thank you so much for stopping by my channel and visiting with me for a while, and I hope you enjoyed these vacation edition episodes of Junk Journal Supply hauls. I know I enjoyed it, so thank you. And thank you to all of my members and to everybody who's subscribed. And if you aren't subscribed, please consider subscribing and clicking that bell. And that way you'll know when I have new things coming out. I've also trying to establish a mailing list so that I can let people know when sales and stuff are coming up. So that will be either pinned to the comments or in the description, along with how to find all of my stores. I have an Etsy shop, a Whatnot shop, and I sell all my digitals on my coffee shop. And I don't have the digitals with me, but if you sign up for my mailing list, you do get access to a freebie digital, which are some vintage seed packets that I created. So check that out, even if you're not interested in, even if you never read an email that I send, get yourself the free digital, because it's not listed on my coffee shop. I do have some freebies on my coffee shop, but that one is not. So, all right, well, once again, thank you for your time, and I don't know when I'll be back with another video. I probably won't film another one while we're here on vacation, so it'll be, and I don't know when this will actually air, because I'm gonna have to have time to, upload and stuff, and the internet's kind of spotty here. But yeah, so wherever you are, whenever you are, I hope you're having a great day, and until we meet again, take care of yourself. Bye. Hey guys, if you're still here, I'm not quite done. I just realized as I was putting stuff away that I had another bag that I forgot to show you. And heaven forbid I miss something. So who knows if you'll appreciate that you stayed on this long or not. But I also found a set of, I don't think they're all cards, but they might be mostly. There was a set of Congress, actually they're not Congress cards, but they're in a Congress card container. But look at that, those are cute. Kind of reminds me of Currier and Ives. Maybe it is. Although I don't think it's CHRI is the artist. Those were $15. And then, see, this was an early on purchase, so if I'd known what I was gonna still find, I would not have gotten these, but they're steamboats. I like steamboats. and they were 12. And then, let me get this one fixed. This set of birds was 10. Oh, and I really like these. This set of flowers was 8. These were all in the same booth. I don't know how they, well, maybe they priced them based on what they paid for them. Then there was this single deck for 5. So kind of like hunting, right? The dogs are out probably trying to find the ducks or whatever that have been shot down. And this one was also wrapped up. Oh, well, these are the ducks that they were shooting down. That was also 5. Yeah, I started to put the stuff away and I was like, wait, I don't remember showing any of the stuff I got in that one store. Now this, I should not have gotten this. These were 20. I definitely shouldn't have paid for that for these, but they're pretty. Seahorses, that'd be great for a beach themed, ocean themed journal. Here's the other flinch card set, but you know, I didn't need to get those because I already got one, but it was really, I really liked it, and it was 5. I have no common sense at this point. All right, then here's another set of cards, lovely flower cards, Congress cards for 10. And somewhere, oh, I think maybe I already showed it to you. I got a seashell book, and that I did already show it to you guys. Okay, so now I really am done. And if heaven forbid I do find something else, I'm just gonna show it in a different video. But anyway, so thank you for sticking on for the after show, I guess we could call it. And I hope that, like I said before, that you have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye.